Hey, what's going on? We got just a few cards going out this morning. First off is a 2014 Topps Platinum Mike Evans rookie card. This is going out to Thornton, Colorado. Excuse me. Interesting notes on this one. Other than, man, this guy's having a hell of a career, and Tom Brady only enhances this. Picked up this top platinum lot of 3 cards, I believe, for like around $7.50. I think it come out to about $7.55 a card, and sold 2, kept 1. There was a 3-card lot. This one it left for, let's see, $4.30. So that's a big win there, and based on the way he's playing and what the Buccaneers could do over the next couple of weeks, it's a big win for the buyer. Next one's a 2001 Topps Archive rookie reprint of old Johnny U. These are always pretty cool. A lot of times, you'll see these listed, and I made this mistake for a while listing them. There's the card number, but that's the original card number, and we got to remember that these 2001 Archive reserves are rookie reprints, and these are the holographic ones. But if you look in the fine print, if that'll go into focus there, so yeah, you can barely see, like right in here, and I can't really even decipher it with the readers. It says number 26 or 46. So that's where the actual Topps Archives reserve sets. This is going out to Lee Acres, Florida. 2014, 2001 age difference. Here's 2001 classics, Stephon Diggs. I've heard them called premium stock, Optichrome. I listed them as chrome. But yeah, Stephon Diggs and Stephon Diggs 2020 contenders draft picks. This one's actually going out to Orchard Park, New York. So this card's going to somebody that knows somebody in the Bills Mafia. That's always cool. Last but not least, we're sending out this 2020 Mosaic Prism Nick Chubb pink camo, or should I say 2020 Mosaic Nick Chubb pink prism camo. Cool looking card. I had listed this as a single and was almost ready to, put that into the dollar stack. But luckily a buyer came. But that's all we got going out this morning so far. And this one's going out to Chicago, Illinois. So we got Colorado, Florida, Chicago, and Upper New York. So, I mean, that's always interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to anybody else, but now we'll go up here and we'll look at last 7 days sales. Today, we got 375, $100 over the last 7 days, at about just a little bit shy of 900, or a little bit shy of 1,000 over the last 30 days. So that's not too bad just for like little nickel and dime hitters like this, man. And we got some mail coming in, and we'll check that out when that comes. So till then, be good or be good at it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Tuesday, January 18th. We've got some stuff that's going out I want to share with you guys real quick. We'll just go right down the list. We've got a 2020 Mosaic Keyshawn Johnson. This guy was looking good this past weekend. Rookie card going out to Winside, Nebraska. We've got a XR Willie Gay, a real nice linebacker for the Chiefs this year. 33 out of 75. Coming out of our quarter stacks as an individual listing. This was an individual card listed. This was out of the quarter stacks, which are over here. We'll talk about a little bit later, but this came out of that. So single card out of your quarter stack sales, blah, blah, blah. A win-win for the buyer and us both. The short print Willie Gay rookie card, 2020 Mosaic Josh Kelly, another rookie card. That's going out to Nebraska. I don't know. Nebraska, this one's going to Missouri. This one's going to, I don't know, I think California, I believe. And then a buyer dropped into our team sets. These are the dollar card listings, multi-variation listings. They picked up a 1991 Pro Set Giants replay. Giants collector Also with a 2008 Upper Deck First Edition Brandon Jacobs going in there. Then they picked up, I believe this is 2012. Yep, 2012 Ahmad Bradshaw, a chrome refractor, and then the X Fractor shows up. And so that's out of the quarter stacks, so there's, yeah, we'll put those out for the PWE. Then we've got a high numbered Shohei Ohtani 2018 Topps Heritage going out, and this is a single card listing as well. Kind of a speculative buyback, several months ago, back when these were a little bit less. They sell pretty good. I don't understand, man, because the guy's a hell of a player and he's doing things that have never been done. If it's a blue-eyed American guy, I think, we'd hear nothing but, he would be all over the place. But I respect that guy, and I don't collect a lot of baseball, but I wanted a big-time baseball guy, and I got some handles on it. I just kind of wanted the experience of moving some of them as well. It was just kind of a, let's check it out, see how it goes. Now, here's a stack of Steelers, and here's a stack of Cardinals, and they're indescript cards. There's not really that big a deal. Just but kind of for me, man, these are a real big deal, and one of the reasons why I wanted to share this information with you guys. These cards are going out to Nampa, Idaho. Excuse me. And I've got a regular buyer that really, man, props, and I gotta give him his props. Jerry out there in Nampa, Idaho. Had it not been for him, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now, honestly. So thank you, Jerry. You saved our ass in the hobby for sure. But anyway, let me tell you a little bit about it. Back probably 9 months ago, a buyer would come in to those multi-variation listings, and he'd buy like 15 or 20 at a time from several different stacks. And he would go in and come back. I'll just go through these cards while I'm talking to you. He would come in and pick out some cards, and just little base hits, just like this. And he'd buy stacks of them. And every week, man, like clockwork, coming in, taking, buying $20 to $50 worth of cards at a time out of the quarter boxes, and because of that, I started going from, hey, this was a listing that was in my quarter box, to now, hey, man, I could put that out there and let that go for $1 because I know this guy, Jerry, he's going to come back and he's going to buy, and it kind of struck me as, holy smokes, man, is it possible? Because I was looking at a lot of these cards and I'm thinking, man, there's no way I can sell them. Who's going to buy this stuff on eBay, man? This is just not going to happen. Well, lo and behold, there's guys like Jerry out there that each week show up, pick up a few stacks. This is the first stack this week, and last few weeks he stopped in 2 or 3 times and, fill up a couple lots of just base cards, builds his collection. I don't know what he does with them. All I know is that I'm extremely grateful that each week he shows up and buys a few stacks like this. So it clears inventory. Here's how this breaks down and what makes this so impressive. It clears inventory, so now we can list more cards. All right, that's a win. The buyer gets cheap cards. So like this thing is listed. If you bought this. There's a single card, kind of like the same thing that this guy did, that's 99 cents plus shipping. But by doing it this way, 25 cents a card, and then what's cool is the way I have the shipping set up. The shipping pays 58 cents. The buyer pays 58 cents for that first card in a stack, and then a penny for each additional card. So there's like 70 cents in shipping. So he's paid me $1.50 in shipping. You say, well, you're going to lose your ass on shipping, GK. You can't do this forever. And you know what? Hey, you're right. But here's the thing. I'm going to stick these in a bubble mailer. I'm going to lose my ass. I'm going to lose that $1 or whatever to stick it in the bubble mailer and pay the postage and blah, blah, blah. And then, dude is going to show up later in the week and buy some more from him. And really, the thing of it is, I want to get him his cards safely in a good condition so he enjoys them to do whatever he can or wants to with them. So, these things, man, and like I said, eBay sees that as a sale. So this one's a sale. This one's an individual sale. This one's an individual sale. So eBay recognized this as this is my daily sales. So that boosts my numbers and the algorithm. It's a win-win for everybody. You know, on the surface, it looks like, hey, we're losing our ass, but not really. We got to put our hands on some great cards this morning, and we get to send them out. We get to write thank you notes, stick them with all the cards, and send them to somebody else. And that's what it's all about right there. So thanks for dropping in. We'll see you soon. And until then, man. Oh, yeah, before we take off, I wanted to just run this down real quick. So our daily sales, you know, today we've got nothing. But if I go back over here, there we go. So 4021, and there it is right there. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I can't argue with that. It may not be the number some people are looking for, you know, but that's fine for them, you know, but man, I can't help but be super grateful, you know, to all these people for helping us out, allowing us, like I said, to put our hands on awesome cards and share them with others. So that's it. You know, what else can you say, man? What's shaking, everybody? It is January 20th, Thursday afternoon, 2022. We got, you know, yesterday, hey, man, we sold one card. Today, man, look at all this. This is what's going out in the mail today. We'll go through this real quick. First off the bat, we've got a 3-card order going out. And this is really cool because I know the buyer. Burke Knowledge Sports Cards stopped in and said, hey, what's up, GK? So we're sending out a Ohtani high numbers, a Crown Royal from 2003, Todd Heap. You know, in the ASU uni, you know, he was a Sun Devil. But, man, you know, without the pitchfork, that kind of sucks. Sorry, Burke. I didn't realize there was lacking pitchforks. And probably the best tight end in the game, you know, pound for pound, down for down, Mark Andrews is getting it done from the University of Oklahoma. And, man, I mean, what can you say about him? And we got just a single card going out to Gowanda, New York. Oh, by the way, these are heading out to Colorado Springs. So if you're out there in Colorado Springs, man, there's a collector near you with these cards. This guy, John Brown, Bills Mafia, representing big time over the past couple days. John Brown, real simple, 2019 base prism, Gowanda, New York. Thank you very much, man. We appreciate you. And then last but not least, here's a big lot of some 2001 archives and some base prism, but a lot of old school players. And what was really cool about this transaction right here was the buyer reached out and said, hey, I see some of these cards, and you know, I have automatic offers set up on like single listings. I think we were working off this Ed Jones listing, and he said, I want to buy some more, you know. Is it easier to go through the listing or put together a lot? I had him go through the listing because some of these were in all kinds of different areas. It was just hard to tell, but he picked up a chunk, like here's 4 cards. So part of the payoff on that strategy of the multi-variation listing was that I could list several of these cards, and maybe a buyer would come in and buy several at one time. You know, sometimes people like to buy one card. Some people like to come in and buy a stack, like 4 cards, 4 Stephen Gronkowskis. I got 3 Richard Shermans going out. Got another stack of Willie McGinnis, and then a couple, I think 2 or 3 Ken Andersons. You know, all, you know, if you're 70s, 80s, you know, if you've been a football fan for a while, these, you know, hey, man, those are good players. But, man, oh, and then also, too, I think this is a disco. Yeah, disco. I've seen people call them the orange no huddles. You know, I don't know. And I quit keeping up with it. You know, to me, it's disco, maybe the orange bubbles. It's a glass of come on in and have a glass of champagne. What's your name, little girl? What's your name? So then he said, hey, man, I'm a big fan of these archives reserves, and I want to buy a whole mess of them. So first one he checked out was this Otis Sistrunk, you know, part of that great Raider secondary, you know, coached under John Madden, or coached by John Madden, just phenomenal hitter, phenomenal player, always there. Really an underrated pro. Warren Moon, what more can be said about that? I mean, and then the illustrious Tony Dorsett, 77 rookie reprint. He said, hey, I want a couple of those guys. And then, of course, you got Kellen Winslow. I've got some of these, I believe these are 83 tops, just waiting to do something, And then you got a 76 reprint. This is one of my favorite all-time sets because of the football. Also, too, it's some of the first football cards I have, like lucid memories of seeing on a regular basis. And I thought, to me, that 76 tops, that football with a team name, that will always be an iconic card picture to me. I'm kind of excited about the possibility, with Fanatics and Tops, can they bring this back? Because every year our Tops Archives come out with that. I loved it. And then you got a couple 84 Eric Dickerson, going to a 71. I believe that's a 73 reprint. Jack Youngblood. The motherfucker played a Super Bowl on a broken leg. Like the first documented guy to do it. That's what he did. This guy might be a Rams Bengals guy, because here's Henry Ellard. You look back now, back during the 80s and 90s, this guy, for sure, this card made a lot of sense, Henry Ellard. But you compare him to some of the receivers of nowadays, and, it's kind of almost like maybe just a run-of-the-mill guy. Ken Anderson, quarterback of the Bengals. And how cool would it be to see, Topps Archives 2022 or 2023 with some of the players that are in the league right now? Just phenomenal. James Lofton, and when I talk about the 82 top set being iconic, one of the big reasons why is I believe this one was, okay, so this is a reprint of 79. So in 79, man, look at that airbrush work right there, blocking out the big green G. So that's why the 82 set is iconic, because that was the first year we got to see logos on freaking helmets. Otherwise, it was just this. James Lofton was a great player, but, if he wasn't such a bum, they'd put a logo on his helmet. That's what I've always thought. And then last but not least, Steve Grogan going out. Once again, that 76 design. It's got the cartoon. What is the signal for delay a game? Arms folded across the chest. Hey, no bullshit. That's how I learned a lot of football rules before I'd go out to the sandlot. I could study some of these 76 cards, and I've got some history there. So anyway, that's it for the 20th, and we'll see you again soon. What's shaking? We're here Friday, January 21st. Real slow day. Just like 3 shipments. Tyrann Matthew going out, and I didn't look up where these guys are going. Once again, that Elite Series. Here's Shady McCoy. These are awesome cards for paper. And then also an AJ Penza. Hey, man, we might be going up to Bill's Mafia, man. That's 3 days in a row, man. We've heard from those guys. And then kind of a murderer's row, kind of a nice receiving trio out of the AFC West. Brian Edwards, rookie card. Darren Waller, the man that couldn't say is done. And Hunter Renfrow. And then on the back, you got an Elite Series. Now, see, and that's a Donruss, and there's just not quite the color movement, but still awesome rookie card. Jonathan Abram, physical player safety, his rookie card from 2019. And then Max Crosby. Gosh, man, that guy's an animal. And we'll send that out in the, still undergoing in the test phase of the 3-card page insert. So we'll see how that ships out. I haven't got anything bad back. There's been no negative feedback. Hey, my cards never showed up. My cards were damaged, or I had to pay additional postage. That was one of the worries that I had, was additional postage. But a lifesaver right here for those of you who do not know and utilize PWE shipments. Go to your post office, get you a roll of these guys, man. And what these are is a bunch of blank paper. But anyway, these additional ounce stamps. Okay, so let's say, like for instance, this order right here, I'll do the eBay printed postage, and then I'll put an additional ounce stamp on there. And what that allows me to do is I'll pay the 1 ounce shipping for this. And these usually come in at like 1.2 ounces with the envelope and cardboard, tape, everything. So then I put that on there, and then that pays for an additional ounce, which you never know what the post office on the buyer's end is going to do. Sometimes they get salty and say, oh, this exceeds the requirements and blah, blah, blah. Maybe they kick it back to you. Maybe they charge the buyer additional postage. This prevents that, the additional ounce stamp. The other benefit to this additional ounce stamp, like for instance, I'll put one on this one simply because it's a 2-card, a 55-point top loader with 2 cards in there. I'll put this on there because this also designates the letter as non-machinable. So then that way you don't have to worry about it running through the machines, this, that, and the other. I don't know how precise it is. I can't say, hey, with 100% guaranteed they won't run through the machines, because it seems kind of crazy. But these have worked great for me. So try these additional ounce stamps if you're mailing PWEs and you're worried about them getting to the destination safely without having to run through the machines, or having the buyer have to pay additional postage charge on your shipment, which is a big deal, because if I'm a buyer and I just spent $1 or $2 on something like this, I definitely don't want my postman saying, hey, GK, I want my $2. You don't need that nonsense, and your buyer doesn't need that nonsense. And so it just to lessen the complication with things, additional ounce stamps, go get them today. Grab a roll, grab 2, grab 3 or 4, put them on all the envelopes you send out, and we'll see you again. What's shaking? It is Saturday, January 22nd, around 9 in the morning. Had kind of a slow day to start the morning. We've got a 2007 Bowman, Terrell Owens, T.O. He's going out today. Interesting card, interesting player, arguably the top 3 all-time receiver, is number 2 in all-time yards, NFL Hall of Famer, polarizing personality, of course, great player with multiple teams. This is his stretch when he was with the Cowboys, and it's I loved this card back in 2007 when I was buying and selling back then. I like it today. And then, Prism draft picks, college Alvin Kamara from 2020. Just a couple of little 99-cent PWE guys going out. Luckily, we had some people come in overnight. Last night, packed these up, had like a 25 card lot that went out of Buccaneers out of the quarter stacks. And then, some regular PWEs, not a whole lot there, but in the grand scheme of things, I think that pushed us around $30 for the day. I think 22, 27, something like that. It's not a bad day for slinging some base singles. And those slow days really kind of help because I've got some magic that I want to put in, and then I've got some other things lined up to put into the box. And man, I'll pull up this computer real quick and show you why. Here's the thing, the thing we're looking at is number of listings, right? So right there, I'm at 4639. And my goal by the 31st was to be at 5,000. So I'm not too far away. I thought, man, I'm going to crush it. Actually, earlier this week, I thought I'm going to be at 5,000 by the weekend. But a couple things kind of caught me up, and they're kind of interesting things because they're going to allow us to manage the inventory better. Now, believe it or not, I'm getting these cards in. I've got these Topps Magic, and as I was going through these Topps Magics, I'm like, man, what was cool about it was I got these cards in, and I'm like, I've got several of these already photographed. I don't have to take new photographs. I can just automatically upload them, and we kind of talked about that. However, these are the ones that I did not have photographed, and I was able to photograph them. And that went all great, and then I found out about the Fujitsu scanner and chrono card and what scanning and using a different tool to capture those images, what that could do for me. So I kind of started seeing that. And one of the things with the amount of listings that we're doing, like you look at all these guys right here, there's a lot of multi-variation listings, right? And as I was updating the magic cards, I'm like, I don't have no freaking clue of what I've already got photographed, other than, some probably mismanaged files. Like there's the downloads, like just some mismanaged files of teams. And like, I'm getting ready to work Jaguars. So pulled that guy up, and then, so that's basically was my organization. And I only started numbering them back when the numbers, within the last month or so. So I was really just kind of managing it like that, or how they were sitting in a box, maybe organized by team dividers, and I'm like, man, that's not going to work, especially at 5,000 listings. And, this is a great idea that I could get this many cards in and say, man, I could process those quickly, just immediately upload them after, reviewing them for quality control. But it wasn't working out like that. So, I didn't even have a spreadsheet built. But then what I did, I was like, I got to create these spreadsheets. I got to create some way of tracking the skew and which cards are in there. That way, when I get a stack of cards, I can just go through there and say, oh, hey, man, I've already got it. Because the eBay, to do that through eBay is just painful. Like, I can go in there and, like, this is a multi-variation listing. I'm getting ready to go into the Jags and do this whole process, and I kind of want to share it. I've got one card to enter. All right, I can check the variations. That's pretty easy. I thought, hey, man, this will work for me. I'll just go in here and update it. But the thing about it is, if I've removed any of these cards, they don't show up. This only shows your live. When you go into that variation editing tool, it only shows what's live. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, if I can sync this up, like you can adjust the quantities easily. You can adjust price. It'll tell you how many have sold, how many you started out with. I mean, it's a pretty good tool, but it wasn't really helping me, because there's still listings. Like, I'll go in there and I'll clean it up, like, and remove any zero listings. That way, when a buyer's scrolling through, they only see available cards. They don't see a bunch of not available, and back out on the listing. So I needed to figure out a way. I'm like, man, I've got to manage that system better. And seeing this Chrono card, that automatically places it in your library. Boom, 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 boom. There's your image. You've got to title it, but you can subscribe to an AI service that will probably title them for you. And that all happens. And that's a lot more efficient and a lot more streamlined than this method, which I hadn't even been using. And we're talking, man, this is 3 years down the line, 3 years of slinging singles, and just failed to really build anything to start. Had I built this to begin with in a process, this wouldn't be so painful or intimidating, which it is now. And I can understand, like, if you're a seller and you're like, man, this is just too much stuff for what little we get back, in return, and that's the way it is. So now what I have to do is I have to come in here, go to that edit, and see how long this takes, man. I mean, it's painful to do it like this. And I feel for anybody out there doing the same kind of stuff. So then it brings you there, and it kind of, let me see here. Let me maybe back this up and use the freaking tripod for what it's for. So if I scroll down, so then I got to come over here to this edit block. And this is only available, multi-variations are only available if you own a store. So that's another thing. So this is kind of what I was talking about. these are all the listings that you have entered into the listing, but none of those may or may not show up depending on the quantities. So you scroll down there, here's where you can add your photos, and it's a long, lengthy process. Here's where you can adjust your quantities, right? So like I said, if over here in the quantity there's a 0, I'll go over here and delete it. You know, it's just painful, but you can't really edit or add. I guess you can edit or add, but anyway, so the simplest way I found to do that was really just to go in there and then take these names. Let me see if I can do this. And just to save time, so, you know, I'll go back, I'll get that skew from that listing. I'll minimize this to where I can kind of work with it. And I mean, there's probably a better process out there than this, but this is what I'm going to go with for right now. Copy, paste. All right, and then I'll scroll down here, and then I'll enter the quantity, and so I got one at 99 cents. And now I got my card that I want to enter, and okay, yeah, I took the time to do that, and where it makes sense is coming up. I'll show you why that kind of makes sense. Let me kind of change that up a little bit. And so then I select edit, and then it brings you to this team listing, and it shows you all the attributes and options, and these are the ones that are going to be live. So then I got to scroll down here, and how I had been doing it was I would enter this information. So I'd be like, hey, 2013 Topps Magic, Lonnie Pryor, numbered 7. I'd type it in there, and you know, blah blah blah. But now I can kind of do this. Boom, boom, enter, and it tells me, so it comes up and it says, hey, it's not already added there, or it's not valid for this variation. And what that means is I've already got it up there, and you can see the way it's laid out. It's not easy to track. And how I was doing it, I just take the cards out of the stack, so there's no particular order here. So it tells me that I can go ahead and I can cancel. Then what I can do, I can come down here to this area, and then all I got to do is look for Lonnie Pryor. Lonnie Pryor, Lonnie Pryor, Lonnie Pryor. Where is he at? Come on, buddy. Topps Finest. Denard Robinson. And this is what can get frustrating. 2013 Magic, Lonnie Pryor. So yeah, man, it wasn't even letting me add that guy. Man, 2013. So now I'm scrolling over here, and see, this is just a big mess, man. Maybe that come in there wrong. Oh, okay. Team Pride. That's so. Yeah. Let me show you. Yeah. 2000 Topps Magic, Lonnie Pryor, number 7 RC. So now let me try that. Now this should work. And what had happened was I had copied and pasted the wrong information. Ah, damn it. Yeah, this is... Now, had I done this, you know, from the start, like had I went through this to begin with, it wouldn't have mattered. So there, it worked. Now what we should be able to do, now we go over here, we click the update variations, and then it'll ask add rows automatically, and that's what we want to do. And then so Then the guy will come up over here. Goes all the way down there. I select him, then I got to scroll way back up. So if you build a long listing, I think I've been having luck at fitting about 20 to 25 in this window to where you can access your add photo window easier. And that really streamlines things. You'd be surprised at how much time I waste scrolling top to bottom. I can add photos. It's actually automatically going to take me to the to my downloads folder, and I'll find Lonnie Pryor, and that's where he's at right there. And then it's just a glitch fest. So there it goes. And I take these photos on an iPhone, and they go to the iCloud, and then they go to the computer automatically. They send multiple files there, which is crazy. It's one of the things that I've had to work with now. I can come in here and I can edit the price. So I gotta scroll all the way down, and then 0.99. Save and close. And if you've hung out this long, man, I appreciate it. It's kind of showing you just how lengthy this process can be. I've got to scroll back down this way just to add one card, and it really slowed down. Yeah, man, it's phenomenal. But anyway, I mean, that's it. And it kind of really takes you through a quick tutorial on how to set up your multi-variation listing. So that's gonna be my life till next time. Let's do it again tomorrow.